G'day, welcome to the Prayer Project Podcast, Episode 8. My name is Jetta Doroshenko. I'm here with Ian Alexander. How are you, my friend?
It's another wonderful day to be here.
Thank you for being here. So I want to talk a little bit about today. Ian and I, we have a lot of open communication, and he said this great word that I really liked. I latched onto it. It's the idea of the prayer mansion. Can you expand on that a little bit?
So the prayer mansion is something that we encourage, and it's a really fun play off the words of "My Father's house has many mansions." And a prayer mansion is the idea of where you live, your home, your phone, your car, your clothes, because cleanliness is next to godliness. And the idea is to encourage you to clean up your house, to keep everything in order. Like very rarely do you go into a church or a temple or an ashram or whatever it is, and it's not organized and clean and well taken care of. So we encourage you to clean up your house, clean up your space. It's very cathartic. There's always this statement of when you clean out and let go of things, sell things, it opens up new space for energy and it releases old ideas. And the memory mansion encourages you first and foremost to clean your house and organize things and release anything that no longer serves you or that doesn't really benefit you. And then the next step is to write out and create points in your mansion, your home, wherever you are, of reminder. Like one of my favorites is the bathroom, like getting a dry erase marker and writing all the words and all the goals and anything that might really benefit you when it comes to reminders. So in your bathroom, you can have sticky notes, or I like to use the dry erase marker. Then on the fridge, you have more of your goals. Then in whatever other bathrooms, you have more of your goals. Sticky notes. Not make it obscene, but just wherever you spend time, the bathroom, the car, have little notes of what you want to achieve, what your goals are. Maybe even take your creation cards and duplicate them and put them on your fridge. So the prayer mansion is really about taking the opportunity to surround yourself with your goals, with your missions, and with your ideas. Because there's so many different opportunities and so many different awarenesses about having the opportunity to remind yourself over and over again. And it's really about inundating yourself into a temple of reminding yourself what it is you want to achieve and what you want to do, and putting it into places that you're not as active. So for instance, have a vision board or a prayer board with stickies on it, or a whiteboard with that information in the middle of your house. And in your car, having the little sticky notes or whatever it is, these constant reminders so that your prayer mansion, whenever you're walking around, you remind yourself what your prayer is, what your focus is, what your mission is, and what your objective is.
Great idea. And I had this thought while you were talking. You were talking about spiritual places being very clean, cleanliness, everything is organized. That's a theme that we hear that transcends just like one religion. There's a lot of religions that value that that practice of keeping things in order, everything having its place, and not just in the spiritual realm, but also in like an operations realm, right? Like the military. The military is very much set up like that. Like everything's set, you make your bed, you show up on time, you do what you're told, kind of a thing. And that's very good at getting the things that you want
Organization
done.
And effectiveness. And getting things done is so important because at the end of the day, when you do organize yourself and you do give yourself that freedom, it allows you to be more effective. So for instance, something that I really love as part of the prayer mansion is do the dishes before you eat. That's one of my favorites. So the kitchen is clean before you eat. See how that works out for you. Take 10 minutes at the beginning of the day and 10 minutes at the end of the day to clean your house every day. Make sure your bed is made when you wake up. Make sure everything's put away. Just take that extra 10 seconds. So for instance, when people are like, oh, my prayer mansion is full of laundry, I bet you $1 that you could probably do all of your laundry under 5 minutes. Like if you set a timer and you just did the laundry, it would probably be less time than this actual podcast. With the dishes, if you just did the dishes right when you did them. So for instance, while you're cooking, while you're eating, you just did them immediately and just didn't leave them in the sink. That makes all the difference. Putting your clothes away, hang them up. You're talking about an extra 10, 30 seconds that instead of doing it over the course of 3 hours on a Sunday, you do 10 minutes twice a day. And this is also the prayer theory, right? So instead of going to church for 2 hours on Sunday, You pray for 30 minutes every day. So this prayer mansion, these tips, these tools give you cleanliness so that your mind can be clear and focused on what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I heard this thing the other day talking about flows of energy. And when you're talking and sharing about having things in order and then taking the time each day to maintain those things, as opposed to having this like accumulative like list of things to do that takes 3 hours on Sunday and that kind of a thing. Those little investments, those little time frames to do things, that little upkeep, not only is like a good mantra, but it's also uh, a way to, like you're saying, it encompasses a lot of the theory behind the prayer project, staying consistent in those ways to keep these channels of energy open and not kind of like jump in and out. You're not jumping ship between like I'm focused or I'm not, or I'm going to do this. So again, we're getting into reprogramming in a sense, being understanding what it takes to have the things that you want.
Exactly.
I wanted to share a little bit about this flow of energy, the idea that money is energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to have a good flow of energy. You want to have energy coming in and energy coming out. Stagnant energy, that's where things can get a little bit odd and things can start building up in the same way that your laundry builds up if you don't keep up with it, or your house comes up with 3 hours of chores instead of 10 minutes a day, kind of a thing. And I think there's a similar comparison there with your house and your prayer mansion and your space, is that if you have this mentality around keeping the flow of energy in a good flow. Ideally, you're not like seeing things and being like, oh, getting distracted. This is something I have to do. I'm going to get engaged with the programming of I'll leave it for later or something like that. This is more like open up the best channels you can for the best flows of energy that are going to serve you in the most efficient way to achieve your goals, essentially.
100%. And it also comes down to attitude and an attitude of gratitude. Because when you push off saying, I'm not going to do my laundry right now. Well, that's not very grateful to the laundry. I'm not going to do the dishes right now. Well, that's not very grateful to the dishes, as opposed to saying, thank you, laundry. Thank you, washing machine. I'm going to gratefully do my laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, dishes. Thank you, food. I'm going to gratefully do the dishes. And spend 10 minutes being grateful to clean up your house every day and see how that doesn't shift your entire world. I mean, how many people out there have spent hours in their week looking for their keys, looking for their cell phone because their house is a mess? And it just comes down to, if you push off the small things, you're going to push off the large things.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ideas was, I was told by this person that said they used to babysit very wealthy people, very rich people, very successful people.
Okay.
And they said whenever they went over their house looked like hardware warehouse. Like it looked like they walked into a showroom, right? And you're like, well, how does that benefit you? Well, when you walk into a church or a temple, it looks like a showroom.
Mm-hmm.
So can you have your room, your space always ready to receive? And just as a cup, if a cup is full, you can't receive. And if your space is full, you can't receive. So it allows you to clean your space. And it allows you to focus on being grateful and attentively sharing that love with your space by saying, space, I love you. Let me clean you. And most importantly, to yourself, saying, Ian, I love you. Let me clean the house. Ian, I love you. Let me take care of these things so that I'm not negligent of me. Because when you show up and the house is clean, there's dishes in the dishwasher and everything's a mess, who do you get down on? Yourself. That's not self-loving. So it allows you to have self-love and to really focus on those things that are relevant to you and give your mind freedom so that when you have the time to go and enjoy, you can go and enjoy, and your money's not lost in the couch and your keys aren't lost in the bed and the wallet isn't, in the bathroom for some reason.
Yeah, and your purpose isn't lost in your clear focus and guidance
self-sabotage
isn't lost in finding yourself like coming to terms with the fact that you neglected those parts of your life. You don't have to like engage with, oh, I put that off. I didn't do that. Distractions. It's all just like
Do it
focused
now.
around the
Do it now.
purpose.
Do it now. And the more you flex that muscle, the better it gets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, great chats, man. The prayer mansion. What a cool idea. I invite you to say a little prayer for us.
Thank you, sir. Lord, Father, Mother, Friend, Beloved God, bless our mind, body, spirits, and families. May your presence be aware, and may we keep our space, mind, and body clean, pure, and divine so we can receive all the good you have for us. Amen.
Amen, brother. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This has been the Prayer Project Podcast, episode 8. Have a great day.